vanishing folklore and beliefs. Folktales of the Magyars, public domain reading. Cinder Jack. A peasant had 3 sons. One morning he sent out the eldest to guard the vineyard. The lad went and was cheerfully eating a cake he had taken with him, when a frog crept up to him and asked him to let it have some of his cake. "Anything else?" asked the lad angrily, and picked up a stone to drive the frog away. The frog left without a word, and the lad soon fell asleep, and on awakening found the whole vineyard laid to waste. The next day the father sent his second son into the vineyard, but he fared just like the first. The father was very angry about it, and did not know what to do. Whereupon his youngest son spoke up, who was always sitting in a corner among the ashes, and was not thought fit for anything, and whom for this very reason they nicknamed him Cinder Jack. "My father, send me out, and I will take care of the vineyard." His father and his brothers laughed at him, but they allowed him to have a trial. And so Cinder Jack went to the vineyard, and having taken out his cake, began to eat it. The frog again appeared and asked for a piece of cake, which was given to him at once. Having finished their breakfast, the frog gave the lad a copper, a silver, and a gold rod, and told him that 3 horses would appear shortly, of copper, silver, and gold, and they would try to trample down the vineyard, but if he beat them with the rods he had given him, then they would at once become tame and be his servants, and could be at any time summoned to carry out his orders. It happened as the frog foretold, and the vineyard produced a rich vintage. But Cinder Jack never told his master or his brothers how he had been able to preserve the vineyard. In fact, he concealed all, and again spent his time as usual, lying about in his favorite corner. One Sunday the king had a high fir pole erected in front of the church, and a golden rosemary tied to the top, and promised his daughter to him, who should be able to take it down in one jump on horseback. All the knights of the realm tried their fortune, but not one of them was able to jump high enough. But all of a sudden a knight clad in copper mail on a copper horse appeared with his visor down, and snatched the rosemary with an easy jump, and quickly disappeared. When his 2 brothers got home, they told Cinder Jack what had happened, and he remarked that he saw the whole proceeding much better, and on being asked, "Where from?" his answer was, "From the top of the hoarding." His brothers had the hoarding pulled down at once, so that their younger brother might not look on any more. The next Sunday a still higher pole with a golden apple at the top was set up, and whosoever wished to marry the king's daughter had to take the apple down. Again hundreds upon hundreds tried, but all in vain, till at last a knight in silver mail on a silver horse took it and disappeared. Cinder Jack again told his brothers that he saw the festivities much better than they did. He saw them, he said, from the pigsty. So this was pulled down also. The 3rd Sunday a silk kerchief interwoven with gold was displayed at the top of a still higher fir pole, and as nobody succeeded in getting it, a knight in gold mail on a gold horse appeared, snatched it down, and galloped off. Cinder Jack appeared again and told his brothers that he saw it all atop from the house, and his envious brothers had the roof of the house taken off, so that the youngest brother might not look on again. The king now had it announced that the knight who had shown himself worthy of his daughter should report himself and should bring with him the gold rosemary, the apple, and the silk kerchief. But no one came. So the king ordered every man in the realm to appear before him, and still the knight in question could not be found, till at last he arrived clad in gold mail on a gold charger, whereupon the bells were at once rung, and hundreds of cannons fired. The knight, having handed to the princess the golden rosemary, the apple, and the kerchief, respectfully demanded her hand, and having obtained it, lifted his visor, and the populace, to their great astonishment, recognized Cinder Jack, whom they had even forgotten to ask to the king's presence. The good-hearted lad had his brother's house rebuilt, and gave them presents as well. He took his father to his house, as the old king died soon after. Cinder Jack is reigning still and is respected and honored by all of his subjects.